went to high school together and became high school sweethearts.
We got married 60 years ago.
We had some tragic events happen and we got divorced. In a civil marriage, you're married until death do you part. And in the temple marriage, you're married for time and all eternity. I didn't feel that we would reconnect in this life, which did happen, but I always knew that we would when we went to heaven.
Richard and Phyllis are my parents. Richard was the oldest. David, Jared, and Randy were born after, and I was the baby that came along in the end. Although Richard, the oldest, was developing, David and Jared were having harder times lifting their head, walking. She said, "Why can't David straighten his arm?" And that was the clue for the pediatrician to look a little deeper into what was happening. My brothers were diagnosed with a disease called mucopolysaccharidosis, or Hunter syndrome. 3 brothers that passed away at 12, 18, and 19 years old. Hunter syndrome makes you stunted in your growth, so they were too big for a children's casket and too small for an adult casket. My father made by hand all of their caskets. They really shielded us, Richard and I, from the tragedy of what was happening.
We went to marriage counselors and tried to work it all out. This is our marriage would not last.
They widowed within a year of each other, the same year that our daughter Chloe was born. And I'm witnessing my parents bringing forth the love that was there from the very, very beginning. 60 years after the first time they were married, they're getting married again.
There's that saying that love is hard to find, and I think that it's harder to find a couple that shares a love with themselves and other people at the same time.
I fell in love with her and we get married right here in our house.
They're able to be together and have each other's company and love to keep them both going.
There's so much heaviness to it, but the fact that the family persevered and held everything together.
Everybody should learn what love is about through this journey with Richard and Phyllis.
During their marriage, we're going to be lighting 3 candles to bring David, Jared, and Randy into the room with us.
The love that Richard and Phyllis kindled over 60 years ago has endured the decades of hurdles and heartaches that a very difficult world has managed to throw their way.
I promise that I will greet you with a smile in the morning and share a prayer with you at night.
I have become loving of you more and more and more as each day goes by.
You may now kiss each other as husband and wife.
David, Jared, and Randy, they are the stars in the night sky, the constellation Orion, and they are watching us from above.